Listen carefully. The truth is closer than you think. This is TeenMirror. Archive entry, Charlotte, age 17. The worst nights were the ones where he was still online, but not replying to me. I've always been the kind of person who reads into things too much. Not because I want to, because once I notice something, I can't stop thinking about it. A different tone in someone's voice, a shorter reply than usual, a message with no emoji when there would normally be one. Little things. Most people let them go. I don't. At school, I was the kind of person people came to when they wanted to talk. I was good at listening, good at remembering details, good at making people feel understood. But I wasn't very good at saying what I actually felt. I always found that harder, especially when it came to relationships. Not even proper relationships, just people. The almost something kind, the talking everyday kind, the type where nothing is official, but somehow it still ends up meaning everything. His name was Jamie. We started messaging after he replied to one of my stories. At first it felt casual. Funny messages, late night conversations, small things that slowly became habits. He would send me photos of random things during the day. A stupid sign he saw, a badly drawn poster in school, his coffee order. I'd send things back. It was nothing. Until it wasn't. Because once someone becomes part of your day like that, you start expecting them to stay there. And when they do, it feels good. Too good. At first, I didn't notice how much I depended on it. I just noticed that my mood was better when he replied quickly. That was all. If I woke up to a message from him, my whole morning felt lighter. If he replied during school, I'd smile at my phone without even realizing. It felt exciting, like having a secret version of my day that belonged to someone else. Then one afternoon, he took longer than usual to reply. Only a few hours, not even that serious. But I noticed immediately. I checked the chat more times than I want to admit. Then I saw he'd been online, active 5 minutes ago. That strange little sentence underneath someone's name. Active now. Typing. Then nothing. I stared at the screen waiting for the message bubble to appear. It didn't. Eventually he replied. Sorry, was busy. That should have been enough. But something about it stayed with me. Because once you become used to someone being there, even a small delay can feel like distance. After that, I started noticing everything. How long he took to reply, how many words he used, whether he asked questions back. I told myself I was just paying attention, but really I was measuring things, trying to work out if something had changed. Some days he was exactly the same, funny, interested, easy to talk to. Other days he felt distant, still replying, still there, just not in the same way. And because nothing had officially changed, I couldn't ask about it. That's the problem with situations like that. You can't say, why are you acting differently? Because then you sound dramatic, too invested, too much. So instead, I stayed quiet and overthought everything privately. I started checking when he was online, not deliberately at first, just noticing, then looking, then waiting. There were nights where I'd see his name appear online and instantly feel better, like I could relax now. Then there were nights where he'd be online for ages without replying to me. Those were the worst, because there's something horrible about knowing someone is there and still feeling ignored. I tell myself not to care. Then I check again, then again. I started changing how I acted too, trying to sound more interesting, less needy. more relaxed. I'd rewrite messages before sending them, delete things, wait longer to reply on purpose, pretend I wasn't staring at the screen when really I was thinking about it constantly. And the more I tried to seem unaffected, the more affected I became. One night, I sent him something important. Not huge, just honest. I told him I liked talking to him, that he mattered to me. Then I watched the typing bubble appear, disappear, appear again, disappear, for almost 10 minutes. That tiny moving bubble somehow felt worse than silence, because it meant he was thinking, editing, deciding. Eventually the message came through. "You're really nice, Charlotte. I just don't want you to expect too much from me." I read it 3 times, then again, because technically it wasn't rejection, but it wasn't what I wanted either. It was one of those messages that changes everything without actually saying very much. Suddenly every delayed reply made sense, every strange feeling, every moment where I knew something was different but didn't want to believe it. The hardest part wasn't that he didn't feel the same. It was realizing how much of myself I'd built around waiting for him. After that, I still talked to him. Just less. Or maybe not less, just differently. More carefully. I stopped checking when he was online. At least I tried to. Some days I managed. Other days I didn't. Because habits like that don't disappear straight away. Especially when they've become attached to how you feel about yourself. That's what scared me most. Not him. Me. The fact that I'd let someone else's replies decide what kind of day I was going to have. Whether I felt wanted, interesting, enough. I started realizing how much of my confidence had quietly moved into someone else's hands. And once you notice that, it becomes difficult not to question how many other parts of yourself you've given away without meaning to. I still think about those typing bubbles sometimes, about how something so small could have so much control over me, because it was never really about messages. It was about what they represented: attention, reassurance, proof that I mattered to someone. But the problem with depending on someone else to prove that is that eventually you stop knowing how to prove it to yourself. Some stories don't end when the moment is over. Sometimes they stay with you. If this one felt familiar, you're not the only one. There are more reflections waiting. This is TeenMirror.